What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining us for another Overwatch Odyssey League matchup. Tonight, we have got the still undefeated Jade Dynasty coming up against Cumberland Valley. Cumberland Valley will make their appearance tonight, or their debut, rather, in the Overwatch Odyssey League, so I'm excited to see that and have them here for tonight's matchup. Commentating for tonight, we have got none other than Mayday and Jakey Wakey. What's up, guys?
Hey, not much, Andrew. Just excited to see the new matchup that we have going on between the Cumberland Valley. Again, we haven't seen them play any games yet, but we'll see if they can bring their A game for Jade Dynasty.
Yeah, completely agree, Mayday. It feels great to be back. All right, so our first map here is going to be Blizzard World, that hybrid map. Mayday, you got any maybe hero choices that you might like to see here?
Ooh, that's a good question, Jake. For which role are we asking?
I mean, whichever one you want. I know you play a lot of maybe tank or DPS. What would you kind of play here?
I mean, it's always fun to see, a good like Widowmaker, especially on attack here if the other team is showing themselves. But if the other team is smart, then they can just kind of angle them out. So I do also like to see like Symmetra TPs up to high ground and just force the other team off of high ground. But there's a lot of different strats that you can try.
Looks like Cumberland Valley is going to go here with the Baptiste, Ramatra, Sojourn, Lucio, May. Jade Dynasty kind of going with their typical team comp, maybe a few switches. We do have Kiriko, Lucio, Genji, Hog, and Junkrat.
Yeah, and we do have a slight roster change on Jade Dynasty here with Damavender taking over for Spy for tonight. Looks like he's starting out on that Junkrat. Junkrat did just get buffed a little bit, so we'll see if that ends up working out in Jade Dynasty's favor.
We do see Jade Dynasty just going in here with that aggression that they always bring to the table. Coming in with that synergy that we know that they have. Also is able to take down P-Shooter. Just forcing Cumberland Valley back to the spawn, or to the point. Deskus does take out Dire Raven. Axel able to get down Arrow. Deskus takes out MBT and Squid takes out Axel. And down goes May as well.
Now, P-Shooter's back here, but I don't think that they're going to be going in here. Jade Dynasty's just pushing them back. Not going to allow them to recontest this.
Cumberland Valley just not able to get the kind of push that they want to break through that choke right there. They do wall off Oso right there and do get the pick on him.
Yeah, that's a big May wall. I think this is a really good choke to try to get that Roadhog every time if they're able to, but everyone else on that team is able to get out.
Oh, most definitely. Aggression is very key in Overwatch, but it can also be your downfall.
Ooh, P-Shooter immediately getting Squid Storm as soon as he pops his ult through that window. That was a big kill.
You see Oso and Damavender going down, getting stuck in that May ult. And Desk is not able to get out.
Yeah, so it looks like that May play right there was really key in flipping that fight, as Jade Dynasty did use 2 ults there.
Yeah, it is still early in the matchup, but Cumberland Valley is definitely making their name well known right now against Jade Dynasty, knowing that they are a top tier team. Oso does pop all. It is just Dire Raven trying to get back here, does push in a little bit, and is taken down by Squid. Once again, we see Jade Dynasty just kind of pushing forward here. Desiccus just pushing that point. Squid takes out Pea Shooter, Arrow takes out MBT. And Squid goes down to Dire Raven.
And at the beginning of this fight, we did see Oso and Dom kind of combine a few abilities there, and they were able to get that Pea Shooter as Ramatra stuck in that Junkrat trap, and he went down pretty quick after that.
Right there's where we see that synergy come in too. Knowing that, oh, I have this teammate with this ability, and I know when they're going to use it for the most part, and being able to kind of play off of that as well. Do you see Cumberland Valley coming in here? Good May wall right there. Blocking off Osa, not able to quite get him though. Dire Raven takes that high ground and does take out Oso. Squid going up there to trying to defend it. Squid popping blade, gets Dire Raven, but a beat comes from Arrow as well. Pea Shooter popping ult, trying to sit here and hold the point. Another May ult is able to get Oso, and they do go ahead and take that pick.
Yeah, 2 fights in a row now. Jade Dynasty's got to fight without their tank. But they're able to still get it done as Squid Storm gets a few there and is able to finish off MBT in the back as well. So they're going to get some pretty good payload progress here, even though they only have 1 person on the payload. Typically, I like to see.
There from Squid.
Yeah, I would have liked for them to have 3 people on the payload for just a second there, but then again, Jade Dynasty is undefeated for a reason.
It's very true. And that is a team kill to end the map.
Yeah, they were able to finish that map with over 3 minutes still in the time bank, so that's a lot of time still, even though they did lose a few fights there.
I'm excited to see how Cumberland Valley maybe comes back from that. We did see a lot of good aggression from there, a lot of good pushes. They just might not have been able to capitalize on a little bit. But all around, I think maybe it is their first outing. They might have a little bit of nerves, maybe trying to shake that off. And hopefully they can come out the second round and impress us a little bit.
Yeah, that was one of my thoughts as well. That maybe just some of the first game jitters. We know that they've played together before, but not in our league. So, they maybe just don't know really what to expect going into it, as they haven't played Jade Dynasty in particular. And Jade Dynasty is a very aggressive team, especially with Arrow always being on the aggression with that Lucio.
Oh, definitely. There were a lot of times right there during that push that we saw Arrow in their backline. And that really helped Squid, especially with those dives as well, knowing that he could go in and have some support still.
So it looks like Jade Dynasty is going to switch up a couple characters here. We see Desiccus going onto the Moira and Squid Storm onto the Cassidy. I believe Cassidy still has a decently big hitbox for his projectiles. I think they just made that swap to Widow and Soldier. But I do like watching some good Cassidy play.
We do also see Pea Shooter switching over to the Reinhardt here.
Both teams with a kill already.
Oso also able to take down Pea Shooter. Arrow taking out Kizu. And Squid taking out MBT. You see Axel here trying to fall back and regroup with his team. You see Jade Dynasty playing back just a little bit. Not having the aggression they maybe had the first round, but knowing that when they let Cumberland Valley come in, that they can just kind of collapse on them. Dama Vendor takes down Pea Shooter. Arrow once again in the backline, Oso taking out Kisu. Desk is taking out Axel and MBT.
Yeah, and here's just the aggression, like I'm gonna keep on saying with J Dynasty. Once they get one kill, they just go all in.
And they definitely know where to pick their fights. They know that up in that choke they might get pushed or maybe flanked a little bit more. So they're letting them come in a little farther than just jumping on them with that aggression that we've seen in that first round. You see P Shooter switching back to that Ramatra. PC going over to the Tracer.
Yeah, the Tracer has been very strong so far this season. She did just get nerfed slightly. However, with J Dynasty being on the Roadhog, Junkrat, and Cassidy, as long also I don't know, just the whole team kind of seems like it would be a nightmare to play Tracer into.
Of course, we do see McCree there getting one with his ult. And then we also did see Junkrat getting two with his tire. Desica's able to get Kisu. Cumberland Valley trying to regroup over here.
See an early lamp thrown out by Axel here.
Maybe just trying to get that aggression, maybe initiate that fight a little bit more from his team. But once again, we do see J Dynasty just pushing forward with that aggression. Looks like taking out P Shooter, not quite able to get Kisu yet. Kisu is able to make it out. J Dynasty falling back to pick that next fight.
We see Kizu trying to get an angle here, but unable to do so and having to back out and regroup with his team. J Dynasty so far has held this choke very well, and there's another hook and kill by Oso. As the rest of the team is just following up on all these kills.
Arrow taking out two. Desica's able to finish off P Shooter as well. Cumberland Valley might have one more fight here.
Yep. Cumberland Valley does have all 5 ults now, so we'll see if they are able to at least use up those ults and get some kills here.
Dire even trying to play that backline.
Yeah, they're not even able to get past that choke still with all of their ults.
All right, let's check out this play of the game. And right there was Squid on that Genji, playing deep with his Lucio into that backline, knowing he can get those picks.
Yeah, it's got to give him a lot of confidence knowing that Arrow can come in at any time and either help finish those kills or get him healed up if he does take any damage.
Well, most definitely. So Jade Dynasty does go ahead and take that first game. Getting into this next one, we are going to have Havana as our escort map. What are you maybe expecting, either strategy-wise or maybe team comp-wise coming into this one, Mayday?
I wouldn't be surprised to see kind of the same team comp coming out from J Dynasty, but we have seen them have success with several other team comps. They like to, in the preseason, they really strived on playing the brawl type of composition. But with the long sight lines here on first point, maybe they're going to try to go for more of a poke. We'll just have to wait and see. So far, all that we've seen in this league from Dom is his Junkrat play. It's not something that you typically see very often on Havana. So if he stays Junkrat, I'm interested to see if he's able to make that work. But we've also seen Squidstorm on Soldier several times, and he's very good at that. But Squidstorm seems to be a pretty versatile player. So we'll see what he goes out on. We've seen Oso have success on a few different tanks as well, with the Roadhog and Reinhardt, especially. And then from Cumberland Valley, this being their first game, I don't really know what to expect out of them. Uh, what kind of team comp would you ideally run on this one, Jake?
I mean, me being a support main, I don't really know much about like the DPS comp or the tank. Support, I would probably stick with that Lucio a little bit, if not maybe the Moira. Ana maybe. I know she's not as good in this season as she used to be, but I think she could definitely be viable here. And especially for Jade Dynasty, seeing that last team comp that they had, I am expecting that Cassidy play again, or maybe even a Hanzo. We do have Jade Dynasty defending first, and we see Oso going over to the Mauga. Dom of Ender on Soldier, Arrow sticking with the Lucio, Desiccus on Moira, and Squidstorm is playing the Widow.
It looks like both teams possibly starting out on Widow here, so that can be a fun duel to watch. And Oso playing the Mauga, like I said, he likes playing several different tanks, so we'll see how that works. I haven't seen many Maugas in my comp games this season, but given the right situations, he is still very strong.
And then coming out of Cumberland Valley, we do have Axel on Ilari, P-Shooter on Sigma, Dire Raven sticking with that Sojourn, MBT also sticking with Lucio, and Kizu is on that Widow that you had mentioned earlier. Jade Dynasty is able to take down that Sig Shield. Also rushing in, slamming down, is able
Arrow
to take
getting
out
the
MBT.
kill on Akizo in the back. He does go down to it though.
Oh, so backing out just a little bit, maybe trying to play those sidelines just a little bit more. And Kisu does take down Dom of Ender. Jade Dynasty once again picking their fights, knowing where they want to play them, letting Cumberland Valley come up to this corner. Kisu does take the high ground there. Immediately pushed right back off though.
Dire Raven getting Squidstorm with a headshot. They still have Arrow in the back here.
Oh, so diving right in. Not able to get anyone in. Does go down to P-Shooter. Desiccus going down to Kisu. I apologize. Desiccus taking out Kisu, as well as the pylon. Desiccus kind of pushing up here, using ult as well to push them off the point if he can.
Oh no, Axel goes down before he's able to get his Alarial off.
Dom of Ender also taking out Sigma.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be a flip for Jade Dynasty, but not before Kizu gets a pick onto Desiccus.
That was a great kill by Dom of Ender there, shutting down that Alarial. Looks like Squid is going to use his ult and give sight to the rest of his team. Kisu also has ult active.
And you see Arrow in the backline just constantly applying pressure onto that Widowmaker. As Arrow is able to get Kizu.
Dom of Ender taking out MBT, P-Shooter taking out Dom of Ender as well though. Squid taking out Dire Raven and P-Shooter, as well as Axel.
Yeah, I think Cumberland Valley needs to maybe switch something up so that they can help in the backline with Arrow as he's constantly diving, as they do get off of the Widowmaker for a Sombra I like that swap. I'm sorry.
You see them taking a different route here as well, pushing in that back room. Oso does pop ult though, does go down to NBT. Dire Raven taking out Squid.
Yeah, Cumberland Valley kind of telling Oso, I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me.
Dessa gets taking out MBT, Arrow taking out that pylon, and Axel as well. Diamond Bender taking down P Shooter as he's trying to get to that point. We are going to have to see Cumberland Valley touch here. Does not look like they are able to. And that is round 1. Really good hold there by Jade Dynasty.
Yeah, yep, it was very strong hold by Jade Dynasty. It's just kind of what we're used to seeing out of them so far. With Arrow just constantly applying pressure onto the background. If whoever he's applying pressure onto doesn't get much help, then a lot of times he is going to get a kill and just get out.
Yeah, some people might think that Lucio's not super great, and if he dives, it's not a force to be reckoned with. But Arrow proves that he is, showing that he needs to be dealt with in the backline. Otherwise, he's going to take you out.
So it looks like for Jade Dynasty, we're going to see Squidstorm starting out on this Widowmaker again. We see Damavender switching over to Bastion, as Desicus is going to be playing the Ana, and Arrow staying on that Lucio, which I do expect him to stay on the Lucio all night.
Yeah, like you said, if Arrow switches off of that Lucio, that means you're doing a good job against him, making him switch, making him change up his tactics. You see Cumberland Valley playing the room right here, trying to put a lot of pressure on Jade Dynasty right as they come out of that door. Damavender is playing Bastion though. Arrow taking out Kisu, Squidstorm taking out P Shooter. Jade Dynasty just pushing in with full aggression right now, knowing that they don't have to push that point super far. BT's up top playing Lifeweaver. Also taking out Dire Raven. Also just going in trying to fight that tank one-on-one.
Yeah, I like the Diva matchup against the Malga here, but he's still getting demeched. You can only eat so many bullets from a Malga and a Bastion till they are gonna get you.
Cumberland Valley is gonna have to touch here. Can they make it? And they are not able to. Game 2 goes to Jade Dynasty as well.
Yeah, and that's a quick 2-0 advantage for Jade Dynasty.
Jade Dynasty just knows what fights they want to take and where they want to take them, and they know exactly the aggression level that they need every time. Especially with Arrow in that backline pushing that opposing team forward into his own team.
And we're about to pull Squidstorm from Jade Dynasty in for a quick little interview.
Hey, what's up, boys?
Hey, Squid, how you doing?
I'm amazing. My dad made me some insane burgers. He's in the chat. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate it.
Well, at least one of us has a dad that loves us. Uh,
Mm, mm, mm.
I'm just kidding. My dad is he's fine. Uh, so you guys adding Domavender into your roster here. Do you guys have much time playing together with him?
Oh yeah, he's been our ringer day one. Thanks, Dom. I love you.
All right. It looks like from his player profile, he has a lot of time on Junkrat. Do you guys maybe expect him to be going back to that going forward?
Yeah. So we've been practicing this comp with the hogs where we just hook double trap, and man, it's very oppressive. I mean, we can get run over pretty easily, which we can swap to counter, but it takes a lot of effort to run us over. So.
Sure. So you guys we saw a lot of brawl from you guys in the preseason, and then you guys kind of switched it up on that first map, playing a little bit more dive. Are you guys in scrims or anything, trying out some new strategies?
We've been practicing a lot of separate comps. We've been playing a lot of different things, so we're very diverse. We're not one-trick ponies. We can do a little bit of anything if we need to counter something, but we like to play our comfort picks and have fun.
Of course. What would you say that your comfort pick is?
Honestly, Genji Widow. Genji Widow. I mean, I'm not playing that great today on that Widow, so I've been playing that Genji, getting some crazy picks. I mean, I did hit a clip on Widow, that first point hold, which was pretty nice, but I've been playing that Genji. It's really oppressive. I'm very consistent on Genji, very consistent on any character that can use some really good aim and mechanical skill.
Sure. Was there anything in particular going into this matchup that you guys were trying to practice going up against Cumberland Valley, a team that we haven't seen yet?
Just practice countering, playing different comps. We've been very diverse in our comps, like I said before. So we've been practicing counters because we're prepared to make those swaps if we need to. But I mean, we're a strong team. So.
Sure. Sounds good, man. Well, that's all I got for you tonight. But good luck on your next games.
All right, let's stand on business, boys. We got this.
Well, after that, I am seeing a lot of love for Squid in the chat right now. All right, going into this third map, we are going to play a control map on Busan. I know I was playing competitive a little bit earlier today. Saw a lot of hog play on Busan. A little bit of Rhine play, which I don't usually see in comp. Obviously, I was playing support.
Yeah,
playing that
I'm not surprised to hear that you saw some hog play today, as he did just get buffed slightly with his damage reduction.
All right. Looking at the lineups here, we do have Dom of Ender going back to that Junkrat that we were talking about just now. Desiccus on Kiriko, Arrow on Lucio. Like we said earlier, if you make him change and he's not on Lucio, that means you're doing something right. Squid Storm heading over to the Soldier. Oso staying on that Mauga. Coming up for Cumberland Valley, we have Kiso on Soldier, MBT on Lucio, Dire Raven sticking with that Sojourn, P-Shooter going over to that Hog, and Axel on Moira. How would you say you feel about the Busan maps, Mayday?
Personally, I like hybrid a little bit more, but Busan's not bad. I'm just not a big control fan.
Go ahead and let us know in the chat. What do you guys feel about Busan? Did see Oso switch over to that Reinhardt. Is able to get down P-Shooter. Squidstorm taking out Dire Raven. And Arrow taking down Axel. Some really early aggression here coming from Jade Dynasty. Squidstorm is up top, just trying to get those picks from the high ground. Loving the messages between teams here in chat. Squidstorm takes out MBT. Arrow taking down Kisu. Deskis with Dire Raven, and Arrow taking down Axel as well. We did see P-Shooter switch over to that Reinhardt trying to counter. Kisu is diving in a little bit farther. Squidstorm able to get him down. P-Shooter taking out Oso. Switching over to that Ryan to go ahead and match him, trying to prove who's better. Squidstorm taking out Dire Raven. Cumberland Valley has taken the point here. Arrow once again just diving in, trying to play deep. Is able to take out MBT and Kiso. Trying to get Axel. Squidstorm goes ahead and takes out Axel. Oso taking out P-Shooter. Cumberland Valley trying to regroup here. You see P-Shooter just kind of trying to push Jade Dynasty back here. Also taking out Axel and MBT. Dom of Ender taking out P-Shooter as well, and that is a team kill. Jade Dynasty pushing up here, keeping that aggression up that we know that they have. You see Arrow just kind of up there on the high ground, waiting to jump down, make his mark. Big shatter coming from Oso. Arrow taking out Axel, Squidstorm taking out MBT, and Dom of Ender taking out P-Shooter. Squidstorm also taking down Kiso, and that is round 1 going to Jade Dynasty.
Score 1-0. Ready for battle.
All right, let's see what they might switch up here. We do have Kiso going over to the Torbjorn. Axel is on Brig now. P-Shooter sticking with the Reinhardt, Dire Raven, and MBT also sticking with their picks, the Sojourn and the Lucio. Jade Dynasty kind of sticking with the exact same team comp they had the first round, knowing that if it's working, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
I expected a lot more tantrums.
Do you see Jade Dynasty taking this high ground? Cumberland Valley is going underneath though. P-Shooter switching over to that Hog, also just diving in there early. Jessica's able to take out MBT. Also trying to keep Cumberland Valley in that little room back there. Dom of Ender able to take out P-Shooter. Jessica's taking out Axel and Kisi taking out Dom of Ender. Dire Raven and Kiso go down as well, and Jade Dynasty is able to take the point first.
It's Oso jumping off of the map. Maybe once the Hog 1v1? Looks like it, once the Hog mirror.
Arrow is able to take down P-Shooter and get him off that map. Squid able to take out MBT, Axel taking out Desicus. Oso does hook off Dire Raven. Arrow coming in, trying to get this boot. Not quite able to get it. And there it is. Dom of Ender also taking out Axel there. Cumberland Valley is trying to come up on this high ground now. Arrow taking out MBT. Do you see kind of this Hog 1v1 down low?
Yeah, it looks like Oso's gonna come out on top on that one.
Arrow also taking out Dire Raven. Looks like we do. Squidstorm with using his ult, getting one, and then taking out Axel on the side as well. Arrow once again just kind of going down there and interrupting that 1v1 and taking out P-Shooter. Dom of Ender getting Dire Raven here on that Tracer. Cumberland Valley is going to have to get a touch here knowing that it's at 96%. P-Shooter just pushing through trying to get there and not able to. Game 3 goes to Jade Dynasty.
Yeah, that was a big play by Squidstorm there. We haven't seen him pull out much Hanzo so far in the league, but looks like he's, like he said in the interview, is able to be very versatile and kind of pull out whatever he wants.
Yes, so that is game 3. We are going to go into game 4 here. It is going to be a push map heading over to the Coliseum. Mayday, which map would you prefer for push?
No.
Just no in general.
Yeah, no thanks.
I mean, I like that. I like that answer. It's a good answer. If you had to play push and pick one.
Yeah, maybe still no. Maybe just take the L and just get a different map. No, I'd probably New Queen Street, honestly.
I agree. I agree. Let us know in chat. You guys want Coliseum or New Queen Street? Which one would you guys prefer if you were playing?
Or do you just leave the game and take the penalty?
Yeah, you could do that too. That is an option.
Personally, I miss 2 CP. I had a lot of fun with it.
Well.
I had a lot more time in Overwatch 1 than I do in Overwatch 2.
I didn't play a lot of Overwatch 1. I was one of those late bloomers for Overwatch and kind of played towards the end. So I didn't play a lot of 2CP, but I do miss it as well. So what would you say your favorite game mode is in Overwatch 2 then?
Hybrid or payloads. For sure.
You don't like the flashpoints either?
Oh god, no.
All right, looks like we are going to hop into game 4 here at Coliseum.
I can still have fun on any map. I just don't really care for push or flashpoint. In my opinion, the Overwatch 2 game mode's just not as good. I miss my 6v6 and 2CP.
Yeah, I bet we have a lot of people in chat that agree with you. I know we have talked to them before about Flashpoint, and we did get some negative answers.
I can't say I'm shocked.
Going into game 4 here, I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit more dive comp from either team, but it does look like we are going more of that brawl. Maybe Jade Dynasty is going back to that Malga, but we do see P-Shooter on that Junker Queen.
Yeah, it looks like Squidstorm on Pharah here with Desiccus as the Mercy. Looks like right now, once the gates open, looks like Jade Dynasty is probably going to be at the advantage unless Dire Raven's able to charge up those shots off of Oso and then get some headshots here. And as I say that, Oso switches to Skinny Queen, so it might be a little bit harder for Dire Raven to charge up those shots.
1. Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
Gates are open and we are off. Dom of Ender pulling out that Reaper pick as well. Haven't seen quite a lot of Reaper, so I'm interested to see how that plays out. You see Jade Dynasty get into that point quick with that Lucio and just kind of putting in that aggression right off the bat. Arrow is able to take out Dire Raven, also getting Axel. Squidstorm up here trying to get Kisu, and he does.
And we see Arrow doing the Lord's work right back here, pushing the payload. As the rest of the team is able to just keep forward pressure on Cumberland Valley. As Oso gets the kill on the pea shooter, and Squidstorm getting Kizu again. Dire Raven getting a kill of his own though.
Is in here pretty deep, trying to get Dire Raven here, and is able to. Squidstorm taking out MBT. Duska's able to get that res off on Dom of Ender. And overall, Cumberland Valley is just going ahead and bringing that aggression. Arrow still chilling down here, pushing point. And they are able to cap that forward spawn.
Yeah, I like the swap from pea shooter here. Seems like Oso was kind of getting the better of him on the Junker Queen matchup, as he's taken down by Squidstorm as well as Mr. Kizu.
Also taking out Dire Raven there as well. And Dom of Ender taking down Axel.
Hello.
You see MBT going down to Squidstorm. Axel going ahead and using Valkyrie here. Shooter and Kizo looking low here. Shooter charging in, trying to get a pick off here. And goes down to Oso. Dom of Ender able to get Kishi there with an all. Oso taking out Axel. Arrow taking out Dire Raven. Cumberland Valley is going to have to push here and get a touch, and they are not able to.
Double kill. Play of the game.
Yeah,
And
just
that
another
is
dominant
important.
showing by Jade Dynasty here.
Seeing a lot of love for Jade Dynasty in the chat. If I'm not mistaken, we will be pulling an interview here. Mayday, what were your thoughts on that matchup?
Looked like a rough game for Cumberland Valley. It's not something that they should hold their heads about. A lot of teams have struggled to gain an inch against Jade Dynasty in all of the games that we've seen so far. They can be a really tough team to try to strategize for. And sometimes even if you run a completely mirror matchup against them, they kind of just get the better of you.
And like Squid said, they are very versatile, being able to pick those counter swaps as soon as they need to, and knowing how to combine abilities when they can, and how to use their abilities when they need to. Looks like Game 5 is going to be that Flashpoint map. That is that game mode that we have left.
Everyone's favorite.
Definitely, most definitely. Um, I would say it's not my least favorite. I'll be honest. I think Push might be my least favorite. I kind of like Flashpoint, kind of don't. It's not great, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, like I said, I can kind of have fun on any game mode. I just have preferences, and I
Yeah.
would prefer to maybe never play Flashpoint.
You should talk to Blizzard and see if you can get your bans removed. That way, if you leave Flashpoint and Push, that you can just go right back into another one.
I've tried, believe it or not, they haven't emailed me back.
Hey, I mean, at least you've tried. At least you've tried. Some people would just complain and then not do anything about it. I do see not a wall in chat. Don't want to pick you out, but I do know that you are from the world's worst. Maybe trying to rile up Jade Dynasty here for your guys' matchup, seeing kind of what they're thinking. Seems like we've got some really good friendly banter in the chat right now.
Yeah, that might be an interesting matchup. I don't know exactly when those two teams go up against each other, but that might be a good one. I wonder how much WWE, the world's worst, is going to have to watch in order to prepare for Jade Dynasty.
I mean, with the turnout that we're having right now, it might have to be quite a bit, but we do know World's Worst is also one of our other undefeated teams right now. So in my opinion, I think that's going to be a really good matchup. I think it could be really close, and I think World's Worst is going to give Jade Dynasty a run for their money.
So a little birdie just told me that it's the second to last week when World's Worst and Jade Dynasty play against each other. So assuming that both teams are still undefeated at that time, that would be a really fun matchup to watch. Maybe the World's Worst will continue kind of poking the bear with their their WWE knowledge of how those interviews go. Maybe watching one of the old greats like Macho Man Randy Savage, kind of trying to get under his opponent's skin.
We do see Not a Wall putting in chat that they are going to have to watch a lot of WWE.
Hey, it's worked for him so far.
Said he might have to throw in some Dracula flow.
I can't tell you the last time that I watched WWE, but it's. I think The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, was still a constant back in those days. As I am old, so he had not been a famous actor at that point yet.
I don't think I ever really watched like a lot of WWE. I mean, I watched a little bit, but it's definitely been a while.
Sure, I like to watch it and then try to perform those same moves on my little brother that was helpless. He's 2.5 years younger than I was, and I took advantage physically of him with those WWE moves on my parents' bed as often as I could.
Coming off of those top ropes.
Oh, yeah.
We do have someone in chat saying that if Jade Dynasty beats World's Worst, they will buy Squid a car. I'm gonna take a guess that that's Squid's father that is in the chat saying that, because he did say that his dad was in the chat. So I'm just gonna take a random stab and say that that is him. Once again, that friendly banter continues. Squid saying we play them the 25th of April, and not a wall replying with you tried to play us April 25th.
Ooh.
Getting a lot of talk from Not a Wall. Hopefully, World's Worst can put their money where their mouth is.
Well, if they're able to, then Jade Dynasty is going to have to put up that money, get a car. I once asked my. Speaking of dads, I once asked my dad for a car for my 16th birthday, and he got me a Hot Wheels. So, not quite what I was asking for, but he did get me technically a car for my birthday.
That is true. That is very true. My uncle did that exact same thing to me. He got me a little Hot Wheels car.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to work my rear end off for a few different summers before I actually was able to afford my first car. But as I've been told before, that builds character. I would have rather had a nice car than character at the time. But you know.
And we do see Squid's dad calling it April 25th. Jade Dynasty beats World's Worst 4-1. We'll have to go ahead and remember that prediction.
If he's that good at predicting things, I might need to see, maybe get some insider knowledge on some bets for March Madness NCAA tournament coming up soon.
Oh, definitely.
Ready for battle.
All right. We do see Kisu on Tracer right now. MBT going back to that Lucio. Dire Raven switching over to the Genji. We do see Axel on Zenyatta and P Shooter on Ball.
Yeah, I like the Zen pick. It might be kind of hard to stay alive against the Arrow Lucio, but Zen this season so far has been a very strong pick, at least in my comp games.
That, and we do see Jade Dynasty having a Sombra and a Tracer as well, so that could also be a potential problem for them. Deskus going over to the Kiriko once again. Also sticking with that Mauga. DCP Shooter getting the point first. Squid able to get that hack off. Oso diving in to help him out with P Shooter. Domavender does take down MBT. Squidstorm taking out P Shooter. And Domavender also taking out Axel. Deskus able to get the headshot on Kisu. Arrow taking down Dire Raven, and that team kill right off the bat. Once again, Jade Dynasty just coming in with that aggression right off the rip.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see P Shooter stay on the ball here with the Tracer and the Sombra of Jade Dynasty. It might be really difficult to stay in fights.
Most definitely. He's definitely going to have to try and avoid that hack as much as he can.
We see Arrow and Domavender in the back line. But the slippery little snakes are able to get out.
Also taking out P Shooter, then backing out, trying to regroup with his team. Jade Dynasty is pretty evenly split here. You see Cumberland Valley just putting the pressure right here on this left side. Kisu able to get down Squidstorm. Is able to get that pick. Not quite able to get that touch though. You see P Shooter heading to that second point. Dire Raven trying to meet him there while the rest of their team puts that pressure on Jade Dynasty, trying to keep them away as much as they can. Arrow is able to come to point though, trying to put pressure on P Shooter.
Izu gets Desiccus in the back before he's able to regroup with his team.
P Shooter just rolling around on that point, trying to hold it for as long as he can.
Here
Does
comes
all on point before going down.
Looks like Oso will get his Malga ult revenge here.
Dom of Ender taking down MBT, Oso taking down Kisu as well. Jade Dynasty clearing those bombs off point. We got Squid and Dom of Ender just kind of trying up here to play a little further up. Arrow getting that high ground as well. Big EMP from...
Yeah, 4-man EMP coming out of Squid Storm here. And on top of the Desiccus ult there's little chance of Cumberland Valley being able to get out on that one.
Shooter going up to that high ground to try and get Arrow and Squid. Gets pushed right back off. Kisu going right there after Arrow. Dire Raven getting that nano. Desiccus does take down MBT though. Squidstorm taking out Dire Raven. P Shooter trying to get the point. And does go down to Oso. Kisu does take down Desiccus. But then goes down to Oso and Squid as well. Jade Dynasty there just chasing down Axel. Arrow able to finish him off. Cumberland Valley is on the point first. Arrow is sitting there trying to put some pressure on Oso, coming barreling in. Oso is low. P-Shooter is able to take down Oso. Squidstorm taking down Axel. Another big EMP coming from Squid. Arrow taking down P-Shooter. Squid taking out MBT. Squid taking out Dire Raven as well, but we do see the ult pop by Kiso. Unfortunately,
Wow.
He does go down to Squidstorm.
We just see Squidstorm just being dominant on everything that he's playing.
Did see a really good beat and EMP combo right there coming from Jade Dynasty. You see Cumberland Valley coming up on their soldier ult. We'll have P-Shooter's ult here as well. Squidstorm able to take down MBT. P-Shooter getting low here. Oso takes out Dire Raven right as he pops his ult. PC taking out Oso. Squidstorm taking out P-Shooter and Kiso. We do see Dire Raven switching over to that Bastion now as well.
Yeah, I think that could possibly help with the Malga. But again, with Squidstorm on Sombra and Dom on Tracer, it could still be really hard. And don't forget about Arrow on that Lucio. Just taking damage from multiple angles possibly might make it hard.
We are going to have to see Cumberland Valley touch here. P-Shooter comes in with ult. Does get hacked out of it though. Squidstorm taking down P-Shooter. Kiso taking down Arrow. Dire Raven, MBT, and Kiso all going down to Jade Dynasty. And that is game 5. Once again, a quick match coming from Jade Dynasty and Cumberland Valley.
Player
And that is the matchup for tonight. Overall, I think we saw a lot of good gameplay from both teams. We did see Cumberland Valley come out a little stronger in that beginning, that first game, and a little bit in the second. But we did see them kind of fall off, maybe trying to try up as many team comps as they could, maybe switch up some strategies, figure out what they can do the next matchup, knowing that they were kind of behind in this. Or maybe some key takeaways that you saw, Mayday.
Just the dominance of Jade Dynasty, just constantly applying pressure onto the Cumberland Valley. Again, it's something that we've seen consistently out of them. It can just be a kind of a demoralizing team to play against at times. Sometimes being held at your team or at your spawn door, it can be hard to get out once they set up that defense. But I think Cumberland Valley overall, again, it's their first game that we've seen them in this league. So again, I don't think anything to be upset about. Again, J Dynasty being one of the best teams in the league, it can be hard to prepare for them. But maybe we'll see Cumberland Valley get a big bounce back in their next matchup.
Definitely coming out against this number one team, it's definitely not great for the confidence, especially going down 5-0. But I hope that Cumberland Valley maybe takes what they learned from this into the rest of the season.
Alrighty, well, with that being said, as Jakey and Mayday were saying, Jade Dynasty staying undefeated. So congratulations to them for making it past yet another week without a single loss. So kudos to them. And also to Cumberland Valley. Saw a lot of really good things, and I think a lot of progress. Cumberland Valley being a high school esports team. So definitely did really well against Jade Dynasty for having that experience that they have. Only can go up from there. So I'm excited to see what Cumberland Valley can do throughout the rest of the season. They had some really good holds against Jade Dynasty, but unfortunately it was not enough for that overwhelming strength that they had. So kudos to both teams. We appreciate you being here. To all the viewers, we appreciate you being here. Of course, we can't have the stream, and we can't keep doing this without you guys. We appreciate those of you who are here and stuck through till the end. And then, of course, if you haven't already, actually on screen right now, you see our Facebook, our TikTok, and our YouTube. Go ahead and hit up those pages. Give us a like and a follow. We would appreciate that. Helps us grow as a community and continue to grow the league and increase the amount of teams that we have in it. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, it's a free way to support us. And with that being said, our next matchup, so unfortunately our matchup tomorrow did get canceled. Our next matchup will be the 26th to finish out the end of round 2. We have got World's Worst versus Loggers, so we'll see if World's Worst can keep up that undefeated record themselves, and we'll see what Loggers has yet to prove. They did come away against PA Blinks with a 4-1 win, so we'll see what they do here in the second match. So both teams in the regular season undefeated, so we're going to see who takes their first loss. Again, thank you for everyone for being here. And